Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So everybody's talking about MCP, what MCPs are, and everyone is building their servers and their systems for offering via MCP. They are creating MCP server for their services. So let's understand what is an MCP, what is an MCP server, what is an MCP client, and how can we utilize this model context protocol, which is MCP in our systems. Should we create a server? Should we create a client? And how to do it? Let's see in this video. MCP server is like a USB-C. Just like you can connect any of your port, any USB-C cable in your laptop, and you don't have to tell your system whether it's a keyboard or a mouse or a pen drive. Your system automatically knows it. So, continuing on that analogy, your MCP server, your MCP server is that USB port. Okay. So, if I have a MCP client, which can be my Copilot or some desktop application or any external application that we are creating and that we are building. So what we can do, we can just link directly to MCP. Now I can understand if you are not very much into this AI and into generative AI domain, then you might be little confused. But relax, stay with me, and we are going to understand in the next few minutes exactly what is MCP. Okay, so on to your screen. So in your screen, you can see like I have few things. I have MCP host, I have MCP client, I have MCP server. So what is MCP host? MCP host is nothing but the machine on which MCP server is running, right? So I can have multiple server, I can have multiple clients connected to those multiple server. So for example, let's say I have a database, I have a SQL database, and I want to expose that SQL database to multiple generative AI agents, which I might be creating in my client application, which can be a copilot or a tool which is getting access to this data and generating some kind of report, right? So when I have, if I want to expose my SQL server to my agents, so I will create an MCP server over that SQL server. So what will happen whenever I want to access any data, or whenever my generate agent or my copilot want to access data, they can just call the MCP server, and I don't have to manage anything over it. I don't have to create tools to access that data, right? Generally, what we need to do, either we create a tool in such a way that we are enable our agent or our LLM to uh, write queries and then execute those SQL queries, or in a simpler format, what we usually do in a robust system, we write queries and we offer those queries as a tool to our system, right? So uh, so here what we are going to do, we are going to create those tools in the MCP server, and then we can link any number of MCP clients to that server. Moving on, let's just quickly see quick start for developers, for server developers, how you can create a server. So you have few concept: resource, tools, and prompts. Resources are basically file-like structure which you can store in your system, and you can fetch anytime, like whenever your your LLM or your copilot wanted to use. And secondly, you have tools. So in tools, you have just like I told you, you can create any number of tools and you can offer it to any number of MCP clients. Then there are prompts, which are pre-written templates. You use prompt everywhere. So for a specific server, I can have a set of prompts template that I could be using. So I can create those prompts from template in my server, and my LLM or my agent can use that directly. and I can create multiple MCP tools. Just I have to put a decorator. So if you are experienced using LangChain or LangGraph, developing agents using LangChain and LangGraph, then you know how you put a constructor over your function and it acts as a tool. So same as here, you put a constructor mcp.tool and this your voila, this function is a tool for you, and you can include these are the phrases. So this is most important thing. You have to include this docstring. uh, Via this docstring only your agent is going to know what is the use of this tool. So when my agent will call this MCP server and ask for what are the tools available, so what my agent is going to get is this detail or this information or this doc string that you provide in the tool description. Let's leave code part for now. Let's just focus on its core concept. What do we get from MCP? So you now you know there's something called MCP server, there's something called MCP client. You build your tools, your prompts into a MCP server, and you can access that server from any number of MCP clients that you might have. Okay. Then there are some other concepts like resources, prompts, tool, sampling, routes, and transports. So transport is straightforward. It's just how you are, from which mode are you accessing your server? Is it running locally? If it's running locally, then it's a standard input and output. And if it's a remote server, then it's the transportation will be happening remotely. And let's come to resources. Resources are basically the files that that your client can access through a server. You have prompts. Again, the prompts are prompt template that your client can access. You have tools, and then you have something called sampling. Now sampling is very interesting concept. Via sampling you can enable your server to ask question to your client. So if my client is asking something to server and some server is confused, server don't know like what exactly this client is asking, so server can question back the client. That is sampling. That is the most novel important concept that Anthropic is bringing on this MCP. Then if you go to the roadmap, they are building on a lot of things. Most importantly, they are working on authentication. So if I have a MCP server, for sure I'm not going to open it to everyone. I want it to have a certain kind of authentication. So only MCP clients which I allow can access this server. Okay. So that's it. That's about MCP. I hope you understand it. Let me know in the comments how do you like it, how do you like the video, and if you want me to create more videos on MCP, or do you want me to create a MCP server or a client. I'll be really happy to do it. And that's it. Thank you.